Welcome back, everyone. It is Friday, March 21st in the NBA, and my best plays are on the way. If you are new, my name is Austin. Thanks for tuning in on a Friday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. As always, we begin the video recapping how we did the day before. And a couple, not a great week for us. I mean, not like catastrophic, but we went 1-2 yesterday. Of course, the only winner was our under. I don't know why I keep going away from unders. As you see on the screen, we're 83-35, 70% hit rate on unders. No one likes betting unders, but they've been paying much more than overs. I can't get guys to make shots to save my life. So you'll see in the card today, we'll have a lot of unders. Josh Hart didn't really do anything rebounds wise, so he didn't get it done. And the Knicks got blown out by the Hornets. And then our added play, our VIP play, Shake Milton over in points did not come through. I will note, Shake Milton, when it comes out in a few years or next year that he was involved in the gambling scheme, March 20th last night was probably the game they're referring to, because I haven't seen a guy give less effort and foul out than him last night. But either way, the VIP exclusive plays off to a slow start, but they're going to change around. It's just variants going their way. A reminder, you can get, I think we already have one added play right now, exclusive to the DubClub. We might add another one. Check the pinned comment. You can join 2-week free trial, but I got nothing else to promote today. You'll see we got a lot of unders because, man, they've been paying for us. So we're going to continue to go back to the things that have been making us money, and that's been unders this season. So lock in, going to be a little bit sweaty, and we begin with our first one of the day. That'd be Alex Sarr of the Washington Wizards, under 14.5 points, minus 105 on Fanatics. I would take this down to like minus 125. I don't love it at 13.5. I'll be honest, there was a 15.5 line out there for minus 135. I don't really feel like laying minus 135 on a points line unless it's like a 10 plus points over like a 10.5. Just not worth it, in my opinion. Either Sarr is going to score 15 plus points, or he's going to go under this line and end with like 8 to 10. Now, Sarr, I was really hoping they would keep his line high. His last game, he had a line at 19.5. I was like, please, please, please keep it like that against the Magic. They ain't stupid. They dropped it to 14.5, and for good reason. Today, he faced the Orlando Magic, and they are arguably the toughest matchup he can possibly get. Now, a reminder, we'll be back on PropsMadness. You can use code COS, 25% off. We'll first start with the matchup, and that would be against the Magic. Over the last 15 games, the Magic have allowed the fewest points per game to centers and the third fewest three-pointers allowed to centers. Now, if you've seen Sarr over the last 4 or so games, he's actually gone over in all 4 of them. You see he made 3 threes here, 5, 3, and then 4 threes here. So where is he doing his damage? On threes, spot up shooting. We know that that's his number one most common scoring tendency. Well, the Magic rank first there. They are the best defense at defending spot up shooting. And you see where he scores 35% of his points then above the break threes, where the Magic once again rank first in the NBA. His other scoring tendencies, not great. We've seen him already face them earlier this season. Scored 11 points in 25 minutes on 10 field goal attempts. So again, didn't shoot well, but that's not a surprise given where he scores his points. You see where else he scores his points in the paint. And we see here the Magic 4th fewest points per game allowed in the paint. Defensive rating, they're up there. And again, this is just a really tough spot for Alex Sarr. Has been circled on my calendar. I saw he would face the Magic on Friday. I said, I'm taking it unless they made it like 12.5. 14.5, I'll still bite in on that line. I still think the line honestly should be 12.5. So I don't think I'd play 13.5, but as you can see, 14.5 is available on pretty much every single book. FanDuel just dropped to 13.5, but I imagine they go back up there. So again, really like Alex Sarr, first play of the day, under in points. Now my second play, we're going to actually have an over. We'll have an over or 2 today, but might not be in points. So we'll figure that out. We'll talk at the end of the video about a guy that I really like. Not sure I'll play him. It is going to be Rudy Gobert. I'm taking his over 9.5 rebounds. I'm not counting on this man to score points, but grab some rebounds. If you want to get some putbacks on offensive rebounds, I'll allow it. Over 9.5 rebounds, minus 125. Bet365, a 1-unit play. Now, him and the Timberwolves play host once again to the Pelicans. Now, if you recall, they just played a few days ago, and the Timberwolves lost outright. In that game, Mr. Gobert didn't play too well. But additionally to that, you actually saw the Pelicans had a monster game. They went out there, and I put it splits here. The Pelicans shot 53%, 45% from 3. And Rudy got actually in the early foul trouble. He got 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. That wasn't ideal because when did he check back in? At the beginning of the second quarter, and we saw a lot of his minutes overlap with Zion Williamson. Now, that's going to be a case. He's going to be in there when Zion's in there, but you also want him in there when Zion's not in there, and that certainly, hopefully, happens today because Zion Williamson, now without Trey Murphy, the offense without Zion is disgusting. Now, it worked last game, but it's not pretty. And Zion, we know, is not really going to play more than like 30 minutes. So again, we want more minutes in there without Zion. And even with Zion, we saw in that most recent game against them, we saw him only get 9 rebounds. So he did miss on the hook. But man, he was so close. And with that foul trouble hopefully not happening today, I'm certainly confident that Rudy Gobert can come through for us. You saw in that game 9 rebounds on 17 rebound chances in 31 minutes. So the minutes were there, but they shot a really high percentage. I don't know if they're going to shoot above 53% again. We saw earlier this season when he faced them, he had 14 rebounds in that game on 28 rebound chances. If we've been looking at the offenses, rebounds in terms of the last 15 games, they allow the second most rebounds per game to centers. If you go, oops, wrong button. If you go towards the whole season, you'd see the Pelicans are currently allowing the most rebounds per game to centers. So again, they've been a really good spot for centers to grab boards. And I get it. You see Rudy, he's under in 3 straight. This game, 6 rebounds, faced against Walker Kessler, 18 rebound chances, so just didn't get him done. The next game, he didn't get in a foul trouble. We got ejected in that game. And then this game was one against Pelicans, where he got the minutes, had the rebound chances, just couldn't haul down another one for us. But again, if you continue to see him get those rebound chances, we're talking 15 or more, looking at a guy over in 71% of games. So I really think this is a spot where he can easily go out there and grab 10 boards. We know Rudy, one of the better rebounders in the last, decade of the NBA. He's in there. The guys he's guarding, Messi, Carlo Matkovic, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Neither of those guys, I mean, Messi will literally not shoot anything that's not in the paint, and Carlo's not really a great 3-point shooter. So again, you should see Rudy basically sitting in drop coverage, waiting for Zion to drive at him. And hopefully they can do a better job defending Zion, make someone else beat him from 3. And I think those guys will miss them today. And hopefully Rudy's down there to grab some boards. 9.5 should be available pretty much every single book. You'll have a 10 plus rebounds line. I love Rudy to grab some boards. Don't get into foul trouble, please. That's all we're asking. My third play, we're actually going another under. Now, I obviously do my research on the picks and I post them, and then I go check out what some of my friends are betting on. And actually, it's all we overlapped with my man just to bet outside, Steven, as my wife triggers the alarm. Love to see that, but hopefully she'll turn that off. But again, I really like this spot here for. She always triggers the alarm. You hate to see it. Jalen Green. I've lost a train of thought. Jalen Green under 9.5 rebounds plus assists at -140 on Bet365. Like I said, my man just to bet outside Steven is on this one, and I really like it. I think for the reasons he talked about it. If you haven't watched his video, I encourage you to go do that. He's having a pretty solid NBA season. He's not the reason I bet it. I already had it on the card before I saw his video, but I really like this under for Jalen Green, under 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Now, Amen Thompson, the big Rockets wing, a guard, if you will, is scheduled to return tonight. He is probable. And when the Amen Thompson's in there, I can't confidently say Jalen Green is guaranteed minutes because they have Fred VanVleet, Jalen, Jalen Green, whatever. Amen Thompson. We have Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün. I think I listed 6 or 7 guys there. Jalen Green is not guaranteed to play because he's not known as being a good defender. And if he's not playing defense, Ime Udoka, their head coach, just benches him. And honestly, we could see that happen today. And also, when those guys are in there, he's not a great rebounder. Additionally, he's not really being used as a facilitator, especially with VanVleet in there and Şengün. He's really being asked to go out there and score the basketball. So sure, score as many points as you want. We're taking his under in rebounds plus assists at 9.5. It's a little juicy at -140, but I still like it. If you had to play 8.5, as you see here, still some 9.5s out there. DraftKings been bouncing behind 8.5 to 9.5. So see where the injury report comes throughout the day. But again, you look at his hit rate recently, you'd be like, dang, he's crushing over in 75% of games. But that doesn't tell the full, and that's at 8.5, 9.5. Much lower hit rate. So he does like to end on 9. So maybe you wait for some alt lines on FanDuel. But again, we really want to consider the games where Amen Thompson plays and VanVleet plays. And when that happens, he's under and 20 of 24, nearly over 80%. If you moved it up, if you had an 8.5 line, still under in 17 of 24. So still a very good hit rate there. At the end of the day, this is the guy that is not, in my opinion, known for being a great rebounder. I also don't really feel like he's a great guy at setting up his teammates. He's had some good assist games recently, but you see when these guys are in the lineup, he's not really getting a ton of assists. So I look at this as a really bad spot for Jalen Green. It is facing the Heat. I meant to pull up head-to-head wise versus the Heat. Played him earlier this year. He had total of 5 in 34 minutes. So again, no Tari Eason didn't play in that game. Tari Eason is active tonight. They don't play tomorrow. So I see a lot of guys, a lot of bodies in there that could potentially limit Jalen Green's minutes. I think he's going to have to be efficient and have to get lucky with his teammates making shots. And at the end of the day, I think the Rockets will live with Jalen Green beating them. And they give up spot up shooting. They'll let other guys shoot too. So I really just don't see this as a great spot for Jalen Green. So I'll fade him on the rebounds and assists, take the under at 9.5 there, like it at 8.5 if that's all you got. And then my final play in the video, as I said, we might add some plays. I want to talk about 2 plays that I really like at the end right after this play. It's actually a 2-leg parlay. Now, one of the legs is the clear bigger leg, if you will. Let's just put it on the screen. 2 legs. The Minnesota Timberwolves to win, money line, and Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks under 3.5 made threes. This is minus 125 on BetMGM. I'd played about minus 150. I almost just played Klay Thompson's regular under at 3.5 made threes, but I was about minus 170. I really didn't want to play a minus 170 prop. Not that I've played him before. I'll play him again, but I'd rather just throw on the Timberwolves here. If the Timberwolves lose, bro, they got to hang it up. They already just lost to the Pelicans. They lost the Pacers the game before at home. I'd be shocked if they lost 3 in a row, 2 straight to the Pelicans. And plus, the Pelicans might always rule out Zion. You really have no idea what the heck that team's doing. And like I said, they had a terrible game against the Pelicans the first time around. Yet imagine they play a little bit better, or the Pelicans just don't shoot that well, and the T-Wolves can get it done. They need to win. As for Klay Thompson, why do I like his under in threes tonight? Now, Klay Thompson is returning to a clearly banged up Mavericks team, but one that is quietly getting healthier and healthier. We're talking about PJ Washington's back. Najee Marshall's playing. Spencer Dinwiddie's playing meaningful minutes. Max Christie. They have other guys in there. Plus, you'll probably want a center like Dwight Powell or someone in there as well to defend against Jalen Duren of the Pistons. And so we could see maybe Klay Thompson's minutes get lowered a little bit here, but we also could just see him not shoot well. And the first thing I want to bring up is catch and shoot. Now, why is that important? Because we know Klay Thompson is known for being a catch and shoot guy. That is basically his calling card. And we've seen over the last 10 games in the NBA, catch and shoot. Well, wouldn't you know, Pistons, fewest catch and shoot threes allowed in the NBA, 31%, which is the lowest percentage. In terms of attempts, 4th fewest. So they've been really good at limiting spot up shooting, which we know that's where Klay Thompson does majority of his damage. We're thinking about Klay Thompson. Let me get to this right game. We look at Klay, like I said, 3.5, you can see is available. It's just a little bit juiced on a bunch of books, so minus 170. I just don't want to play that. But again, he's coming in here. That's where he scores majority of his points, catch and shoot. 7th there. We know they've been first in terms of defending that. They've been really good at limiting those catch and shoot opportunities. And he hasn't really been that great. You can say, sure, he's over in 10 of 24, but let's keep in mind, he's been playing with some really bad lineups. And now that I have a better lineup against a team that limits catch and shoot, wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't attempt 10 or more. That's what basically I'm doing here. If he attempts 10 or fewer threes, he's under at 80% of games. I realistically think he could maybe get up to 8. And if he gets only 8, he's under in 21 of 24. He's going to have to shoot a really good percentage. He did face them earlier this season, and he went out there and made 3 on 7 threes. But again, they had Kyrie in that lineup, but they were missing some other guys, and that was basically his role. It was a spot of shooting. I would argue the Pistons defense a little bit better today than it was, back then. I really like this under here, though. I like this parlay. I think it's a really good one. You look at it, it's Klay Thompson under in threes, Timberwolves money line, minus 125. Do I wish it was plus money? Yes, but I'm not going to go out there and force a plus money play. I looked at some other props to consider for this, but I rather just trust the Timberwolves to win. They're 14-point favorites at home, coming off a bad loss to the Pelicans. Lock it. We can't be losing the Pelicans twice in a row. I think they win. And then we're relying on Klay Thompson not to make 4 threes, which I love. We know unders and threes have been our most profitable market this season. So I really like this 2-leg parlay. Minus 125. I'd play it to about minus 145. But those are the 4 picks that I really like. I'll talk about 2 in a second. But to recap them, we have Sarr's under in points, Gobert's over in rebounds, Jalen Green under in rebounds plus assists, and the Klay Thompson parlay under 3.5 threes parlayed with Timberwolves money line. Now, to wrap up the video, there are 2 players that I really like. And a reminder, we'll be live at 4 p.m. Eastern time today on YouTube. Might be a longer stream. I'm not sure. We'll figure out where we're going, but I will be live later today at 4 p.m. Maybe we add a play then. There's already one exclusive play in the DubClub, so you can join. There's a 2-week free trial down below. Those picks are going to heat up. So if you haven't joined yet, probably now the time to join because they're going to get hot and you're going to be missing out on some free money. So again, you can join that 2-week free trial down below. We'll probably add another one. So maybe we'll add one regular play to you guys in the pinned comment and one exclusive play to the Discord. So I really, really like this slate tonight. Let's talk about two more plays that I really looked hard at. We'll begin with the first one. And I don't know if I'll have him in this game, but this is a great game to back some overs. And that would be this game. You got Sixers taking on the Spurs. This is a play I really looked at hard. Quentin Grimes over in points plus assists. He's been over in 6 straight. It's a play I really have my eyes on. It's a great matchup for him. I honestly like the assists as well, which is 4.5. Might honestly play that as well. But I mean, he's barely been getting over that. But again, if you've been watching the Spurs, how they play defense, if you drive on them, they converge and they leave open guys nonstop. So I honestly wouldn't mind him. I'd maybe wait for a Jared Butler line to see if he gets a line. He doesn't have one right now. So that's what I looked at. I ended up avoiding it because I know the moment I back Quentin Grimes, he's not going to shoot well. So I'll probably leave him alone. A guy that I really also like, and then we'll get on out of here. And man, this is a guy that feels like a dart throw. Jaren Jackson Jr. over 21.5 points. Now, you can get 21.5 on almost every single buck. I really like Jaren today. Now, a lot of people are going to be pissed at him. And it's because of these 2 games. The last 2 games without John Morant, who, again, John Morant is out today. 12 and 14 points. So this is kind of what the live stream is about. We go through all the games and talk about some other things and answer your guys' questions and kind of break them down. But this game, he sucked. 12 points. This game got the volume sucked as well. He was in foul trouble in both of these games. This one, a lot more foul trouble. This one, foul trouble as well. Still got the volume. So he's burned people that tried to back him the last 2 games. But I really think this is a great spot to back him. Head-to-head wise versus them this season, 24 points on 9 of 26 shooting. And then that was with John Morant. And this one, 13 points, 5 of 12 once again got into foul trouble. That was also the final game before the All-Star break last year against them. Okay, 12, 3 for 15. 8 for 17 here, got it done. Granted, John Morant and Desmond Bane both active. This game, 6 for 20, misses on the hook. And then this game, without John Morant and Desmond Bane, 11 of 25, scores 29 points. I really like this spot here for him. He's played well besides the last 2 games without John Morant. I just will be so pissed if I take him and he gets into foul trouble. I just will. So I don't know. Maybe we'll add him. I really like his matchup tonight. Think he can avoid foul trouble. I really hope they don't make him guard Kawhi Leonard. And if it's whoever's guarding him on the other side, I think he can use his size and get down low or shoot threes down up top. So Jaren, we'll see if we add you, but I really do think he's in for a good spot. So those are my favorite picks. Again, if we add any plays down below in the pinned comment, also in the pinned comment, link to the DubClub 2-week free trial. Get in there. We're going to add at least, we already got one exclusive play was posted this morning. Probably have another one and some added plays and stuff like that. Either way, I'll see you guys later today, 4 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Of course, I'll be sweating out some March Madness today and having a good time. You guys have a wonderful Friday. I'll see you guys back again in the next one. Peace.